Welcome to At Home with Music. I'm Leon Olguin, or as many of my students call me, Mr. O. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a very well-known hymn tune, and I'm going to show you how to play it using block chords in the right hand, and we're going to employ the chord inversions that we've learned as we've gone along. So you remember in the last video, I took you through an exercise where we played the different inversions of the major chords. And now we're going to employ these inversions in the playing of this hymn tune. Now, this is a song, or actually a hymn tune, that's called Duke Street. And you might think, Duke Street? I've never heard that hymn before. Well, you may know it better as Jesus Shall Reign. But in reality, hymns very often were the marriage of a text and then an existing tune which had its own name, and they would put those together to create the hymn. So Duke Street is a tune, and then that was married to a text, Jesus Shall Reign, or you may even find this tune used with other texts as you look through the hymnal. So that's what you might see when you're looking in the hymnal. You'll see, hey, this has got the same tune as that hymn. They both have the same tune. Well, the text happened to fit that particular tune, and so they put it together. Very early hymnals had nothing but text, and then the musicians would take a tune and match it to that text. They'd say, what tune shall we use with this text? Let's use Duke Street. Anyway, here's the lead sheet for Duke Street, and you can see I've got the chords already written, and if we were to play this in the manner in which we've been usually playing songs, that is to put chords in the left hand and the melody in the right, it would sound something like this. So that's what we're used to. But now what we're going to do is by using inversions, chord inversions, and we're going to be able to play this melody with block chords in the right hand. And I'll show you how we can determine how to do this. So what we're going to do now is going to switch to the overhead camera, and I will show you how this works. There's a formula that we can employ that will show us what notes to play if we want to play block chords in the left hand and still be able to hear the melody. It's very interesting how this works. So let's switch to the overhead camera and I will show you how this is going to work. We're going to be playing this melody, but we're going to play block chords along with the melody all in the right hand. And so here's how it's going to work. Notice the first note of the melody is C. Now, is that the root? Is it the third? Or is it the fifth of the C major chord? Well, it's the root. So if it's the root, we're going to play the chord C in first inversion. Now notice the second note is E, and so when we see E, that is the third, and so when you see a third of the C major chord, we're going to play in second inversion. So first inversion, and then second inversion, and then notice the F is the root of the F major chord, and so that is first inversion. So here's our first measure. We've got first inversion, second inversion, first inversion. And we can play a C in the bass, and then an F. And then when we get to the second measure, G is the fifth of the C major triad. Root, third, fifth. And so in the C major chord, when the melody is on the fifth, we're going to play the block chord in root position. I hope you're able to follow this now. If the note contained within C major chord is the root, we play in first inversion to get the block chord. If the note is the third of the C major chord, we play it in second inversion. If the note is G, then it's root position. So now it starts like this. First inversion, second inversion, first inversion, root position. And then notice here in the F major chord, A is the third. And so that means we're going to be playing it in second inversion. Just like we played the E in second inversion, the F is also in second inversion, and so is the G, because B is the third of the G major chord. Now, this may seem a little bit complicated at first, but it becomes second nature after a while. And you also find that by doing this, you're able to play it smoothly. Second inversion, and now we got C up here. We're in first inversion again. Second inversion. Notice the A is the fifth of the D major triad. And now we've added a C in there to make it D7. And then this G. Once again, we're playing in first inversion because G is the root. So here's how it sounds so far. And we follow along with the bass notes. Now something we can do there in bar 3 is, instead of playing the root, we can go to a G over D, then D7, and then G. Now we're back here again, C major in root position because the melody note is the fifth. Then we have a D minor. In the D minor triad, F is the third. And so we're playing it now in second inversion. Back to C and G. Because D is the fifth, we're in root position. Now here we just remember that exercise where we played all the inversions. There they are. Second inversion, third inversion, root position, first inversion. And then it comes back down. Now we can play it that way using G7, or we can keep going from F to C to F to C. Both chords work in that place. And then we come to the end. And then something we can do with the bass notes in the last three measures. Instead of playing just a C, we can play C over G. We're still playing, in order to get that top note to be the melody, we're playing this in second inversion. Then root position, then we can add an F in there to make it a G7, and then back to C. So I'll play it all the way through for you. You can follow along. We are playing this with block chords in the right hand and then just simple bass notes in the left. Here you go. That's how you play Duke Street using block chords in the right hand and playing simple bass notes in the left hand. So now you're ready to play this hymn if you have been asked to do so, you can do it in church one Sunday morning, or just play it for your own enjoyment. It's a beautiful little tune, and I hope you have some fun with this. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you. If you'd like to support my work, you can visit my Patreon page. You can also visit my website to contact me directly. And I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.